I wanted to talk about the recent laws that have been signed and proposed in New York, Virginia, I believe Vermont, some of the other states in regards to late term abortions. I'm not going to yell, scream, shout, all that stuff. We do that enough. No one likes to communicate anymore. No one likes to sit down and actually communicate and talk about these issues in a mature manner. So, I'm going to share a story with you about something that occurred when I was in my mid 20s that really helped me to define who I am today, my perspective on life, my beliefs about life. I'm talking about beyond church, beyond my faith. But some people say, what's beyond that? There's a point that you go beyond. And so I'm going to share the story. I'm not going to share the names of the individuals involved because I want to protect their anonymity. I was one of those kids, I grew up in a time where, Planned Parenthood would come to the school and other organizations, and they would give their spiel about what life is, when life starts and everything. And, the way they talk about children in some cases is almost like it's a clump of tissue or it's a mole or has no intrinsic value. But I think this story is going to impact you just as much as it did when I was there to observe this. So, again, mid 20s, and this individual was pregnant, 4 to 5 months. Not a good situation with the father, not a good one at all. But people were willing to step up and help them. They wanted to be a mother. They wanted to be a mother. So they were having difficulties with the pregnancy. And so they ended up being admitted to the hospital, which they were. They were admitted to the hospital. And upon their admittance, because the doctors were concerned that they were going to go into early labor, and so this individual was admitted, and they were kept on bed rest. And so I received a phone call to go up there to support this person because unfortunately they started going into labor again 4 or 5 months into the process. So I went up to the hospital. I'm sitting there holding this person's hand. Again, the father was not at this point, was just not involved or engaged in the situation, and I'm holding their hands. They're going into labor. I still remember the sounds of what was going on at that particular time. And so this person delivers this child, man. And I remember the first thought that came to my mind when this child was delivered. I sat back in my chair, and I immediately thought to myself, oh my God, it's a baby. Man, wow. It's a powerful moment for me. It's a powerful, powerful moment. And wow, it was, everything came out at the same time. Amniotic sac, everything. The child was still inside, actually still inside of it. And so they cut it open, got the baby out. And the fingers weren't fully separated. But it was a baby. I mean, if you could have seen what I saw. You see, it's different when you are reading a textbook. It's different when you are watching news reports on TV, or you're hearing the politicians hoot and holler about what's going on. It's different than Planned Parenthood or some of these other organizations presenting their viewpoints. When you're there and you are a part of something like that, and you witness this even at 4 to 5 months, it becomes very real to you. This child, they dressed him. He was struggling to breathe. I could see he was struggling to breathe. And so when you see stuff like that, not from the textbook, not from a political standpoint, but you look and you see that this is a child. He deserved to be loved, whether he was carrying full term or at any point. He deserved to be loved and cherished and cared for. I'm not one of these people who's like, go ahead and just have the child and then society leaves them high and dry. I believe that we care for people from conception to the grave. That solidified that for me. This was not a clump of tissue. This was not this was not some meaningless being. It was a child. I'm not angry at anybody. I'm not venomous. I'm not one of these people out there that's cussing people out and calling them names and all of that stuff. That's not my style. What I am is I'm a dad. I was a single dad for quite a number of years, and I loved being a dad. I still love being a dad. I look at my son now, and I'm so grateful to be a father. And when he was conceived, it was never a thought in my mind, let's end this thing. So yeah, just some food for thought. Um, the experience that I've had and why life is so valuable to me. Again, you see something like that, it's way different than the way the media covers it. It's much different than someone telling you what they saw in a textbook. Um, it's real. And so every life should be treasured and valued, and people deserve to be loved no matter what stage they're in. So I just wanted to share that story with you guys. Appreciate you listening. Just something to consider.